Hello, everyone. Welcome to Empowering Podcast. My name is Sylvia. I'm a fitness model and fitness coach. I help women build a body that they love and keep it forever, hopefully. So it's been a while because I needed time to put my thoughts together. Reality is, I was probably procrastinating because the thought of recording this podcast was really big. And when the task feels too big, we just procrastinate. But today, I finally decided to do it. I promised myself I will do it. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about because after competition, it's been 2 weeks now. I had so many thoughts, so many light bulb moments because finally I have clear head. I have more food, more energy. So I needed some time to put all the thoughts together, my lessons that I really would love to share with you because there were so many moving parts in terms of training, in terms of my nutrition, in terms of my inner critic, so much self-doubt. And I always say to you guys that this journey, and it doesn't have to be competition. Of course, bodybuilding is really, really intense. And it's only one sport that you have to perform when you're under resourced. What I mean is, this is only sport in the world when you have to train your hardest, master your mindset with little amount of food. So if we lack of energy, it's really, really hard to train hard. But also it's really hard to overcome our thoughts and master our mindset. It's really difficult. So I genuinely do believe that this sport really exposes us. And genuinely this journey, I do think you will find relatable because it's not just about my competition and bodybuilding. It's everyone goes through diet. Everyone goes through seasons of life when we're not feeling that good with ourselves, when we have negative self-talk, lots of self-doubt, when the diet doesn't go on plan. We face those challenges and I face them too. And every single time when I compete, I learn something else about myself. I notice more things. It's not only because I am allowing myself to experience those things, but also because I'm learning along the way to understand myself, understand my body, understand how our system works. And if I have better understanding of myself, my system, I can manage myself better. And it means that I do not always have to listen every single thought that shows up in my head. And this particular time, I had very loud inner critic, lots of self-doubt because I've been dieting since March, really, getting ready for competition in August. And then, being honest, I didn't plan to compete in Dubai, but I'm so glad that was the lesson that I needed. The fact that London didn't go on plan and I felt a little bit disappointed with the outcome. I guess I was a little bit, the most disappointed I was with myself. Uh, this was the greatest lesson that pushed me to see myself in Dubai in a way I never seen myself before. And I actually feel quite emotional when I talk about this because I genuinely am grateful for the lesson and the suffering that I experienced after London. I failed forward, and after London, I knew I had to push. However, I've had a very loud inner critic, and I was speaking about this with my coach. Does it even make sense that I'm, spending all the money, making all the sacrifices, physical, financial, to go to Dubai if I'm not even competitive, if, my condition is not even worth to get on stage and place, because in the end I am competitive athlete and I want to win, I want to place. But let me tell you, as soon as I arrived to Dubai on my own, every single morning I would wake up look at myself taking videos and pictures for my coach. And first time, I think, in my all competitive career, I didn't care if I will place because I already made myself so proud. I outperformed myself. And I always say to you guys, blow your own mind. And I did. I I was comparing myself to my previous version. And the main thing for me was just to do better. I needed to make sure that I did better than last year. That's what I needed. That gave me comfort. So the fact that I won my class 35 plus, the fact that I placed third in open along younger girls. Remember, I'm 37. So I honestly didn't care as much because when I saw myself in this condition, that the hard work paid off, I was just mind blown and I was so proud. I just wanted to impress myself. That's all. I honestly, that's all. And every day, every morning, I was perfect following, the plan to the dot that my coach sent to me. Was amazing experience to be there on my own, sit with those thoughts, sit with those emotions, ups and downs, and you're just, on your own, watching yourself, observing your thoughts, observing your body. It was really, really amazing experience. So yeah, it was wonderful. Like I said, I placed first and I placed third, and I couldn't be more proud. Now, the fact is that I still have more work to do. I definitely need to get bigger and build more muscles. But the one thing is, I couldn't control this. See, on the day, I can't change it, how much muscles I've built. But one thing I could control was my conditioning, how lean I got, and I got super lean. I genuinely was, I know I'm just kind of repeating myself, sorry guys, but I'm just really, really excited because I was very, very proud of what I've built. So after Dubai, I came home and I felt great. Like, honestly, guys, last year, after such an intense experience, I was very dysregulated. I was hysterical. I was crying a lot. I didn't feel good. I didn't give myself time to rest, to recover. I overcommitted and I showed up as a worst version of myself many times. And this year I was a little bit nervous about it. But again, through all my studying, through working with wonderful teachers and mentors, studying neuroscience and having fantastic coaches, best coaches in my corner, they helped me manage myself better. And I actually, after competition, I felt great. In fact, I had so much energy, so much adrenaline still pumping that I couldn't sleep. I would wake up every hour just looking at clock, and I genuinely couldn't wait to start my day because I knew now I have the energy to do all my projects, to show up to my clients, to continue my study. I did some painting and decorating. Like, I've had so much adrenaline, but I'm really, really glad that I managed it well, that I put it into the right use. Because the reality is, guys, if we have any experience like this, any intense experience like this, and it could be holidays, it could be a wedding, it could be just something big event that you are getting ready for. If you don't have something afterwards, that your system collapses and we feel depressed. That's when we have this post-wedding blues or post-comp blues. It's really important to have support system, and this adrenaline that you experience through this time is not going to disappear suddenly. It takes time to settle, and I feel like just this week my adrenaline is settling down. Today I had my sleep PB. I slept until 6:30 because after competition I was waking up 5 o'clock bang on every morning. But I feel it's settling. I certainly don't have as much energy, but I was worried. I was worried because I said to my coach the other day, look, I'm worried because I have so much adrenaline, so much energy. I was actually losing weight. After my competition, I was losing weight because I was getting so many steps. I was just so active. So, yeah, I can feel definitely now my energy is more stable. My adrenaline, I think it's settling. And I'm feeling really damn good. And my diet is fantastic. I just still track my calories. I didn't go overboard. I just had one meal out. And guys, the thing is, I follow exactly the same processes when I'm dieting, when I'm building, when I'm maintaining. And because of it, I've had very smooth transition after being on deep deficit for so long. I moved back straight to maintenance. We didn't even do gradual reverse because I said, hey, this body of mine is fantastic. I love to see it. I'm really proud of what I've built and achieved, but I'm not attached to it. I understand this is seasonal and I'm ready to get my body to, healthy state. So we got straight to maintenance, and even though my weight was still going down because I was just so active. So anyway, we increasing calories very gradually because if we do, and that's another thing. Quite often after dieting or girls after competition, they increase the calories or they don't track. They just fall away from the process. They gain weight. They gain too much weight, and that creates even more stress, more uncertainty, and just generally worsens your state. But if we stick with the processes and routine that we know, our system will settle safely. It's like landing, my coach says, landing the plane. We want to land the plane safely. So after my competition, I came home on Sunday. I just couldn't wait to be with my partner. Honestly, I didn't even sleep, I think, 24 hours because I just really couldn't wait to see my partner and just get home. So we went for a dinner on Sunday and I started back to track my calories on Monday. Straight away, had a macro. Was it perfect? No, just maybe a little bit protein here but genuinely speaking, I just follow exactly the same processes. I got back to training on Tuesday, took it easy because it still wasn't enjoyable. But it took me a week and now I'm rocking my training. I love it. I'm back to doing my squats and deadlifts, and I'm just really, really happy now. I have the opportunity and mental capacity to keep refining my training. And the future goal is to grow more muscle, but also, as you know, I love to be strong. So I'll be refining my training technique. And, I've been doing this for 10 years. So, genuinely, you might think, oh, she knows what she's doing. We always learn. As soon as you think you know what you're doing, you're lost and you stop progressing. My coach is so picky, which I love because it gives me something to focus on. So every time when I do squats or deadlifts, whatever exercises I'm now really learning to do, I send to her, she sent me feedback, and she's just picking how can I improve, how can I lift more efficient so I can be stronger. So I'll be taking a break from competing. Certainly, I'm not competing next year because it will be just no point because there's no way I will build the amount of muscles I need. And again, 6 months, 7 months time before you start dieting again. It will be just a waste. So I'm taking full competitive season off to grow, get stronger, get bigger, go get more muscles. And I love to call this building phase, but I'm building myself. There is so many things I want to do and improve on. And during my prep, I've started studying neuroscience, which I am so passionate about. So this continues now, which means that hopefully soon I will be able to give you guys more. Uh, because this is the biggest missing piece of the puzzle in our fitness industry, to not having understanding of the psychology and physiology, why people quit, how to change our behaviors, how to communicate, and how to support our wonderful humans out there. Because, we always saying like, oh, you don't want it bad enough. Like, fucking hell, if women wouldn't like this bad enough, if they didn't want this bad enough, they wouldn't be going to Turkey to get butchered, right? We just don't know how to do this. So people genuinely need help, and I just love helping people. I love my woman. I just love hearing your stories, guys. Some of them make me so fucking emotional. So I just love speaking to my clients. I love coaching people. I love hearing your stories. In fact, one of the things that I love the most about competing and traveling the world is meeting absolutely amazing women. Like this every single person I met on my path in Dubai had a story to tell, and those stories were like incredible what this woman overcome. And now I think that will transition me to the fact that this experience really helped me again build more confidence, more trust in myself. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is something that makes me so happy, gives me dopamine, gives me fulfillment. And it took me a while to understand this. And I am very, very lucky that my partner understands it. And he is just so supportive. We have very loving, safe, secure relationship because we've been working on it for a very long time. But what it means that I have really enough space, mental space, to focus on my goals, my pursuit, on the things that I really want to achieve personally in my business, as an athlete, as a whole human being. Because remember, we are a package. I'm not just my body, I'm my spirit, my mindset. Like, I am a whole package, and who I want to be, how I want to look, how I want to feel. And the reality is, if we don't have safe and secure relationships, we'll be struggling, because this is the basic human need, to feel safe and secure. If we don't feel safe and secure, and guys, I don't want you to think about this as a abusive relationship. No, if there is a relationship that you don't really feel confident, I mean, if you think maybe he's cheating, he's not supportive, you feel like you're his mom, like, there's lots of friction, you'll be struggling with your goals. Because if we don't feel safe and secure, and I mean secure again, self and secure, not just from physical or like abusive standpoint, but could be mental, arguing all the time, if he's making life harder for you rather than easier, financial stressors and things like that. That takes so much mental capacity that your brain will not give you energy for anything else. Like, the pursuit of your goals is on the last on the list of your brain. Your brain is here to protect you, keep you alive, keep you safe. So goals is just like pursuing your goals is just on a, far away. So if we don't have the basics nailed, foundations, your brain will not give you the energy to pursue your goals. You will have lack of motivation, snacking, all the reflexes that got you to the position perhaps that you don't want to be in, got you to the position that you want to move away from. And that's why having understanding of your system is important. Because during my prep, I've had very, very loud inner critic. You're not good enough. This is shit. What's the point? And I know so many of you experience that too. But the thing is, your brain is just trying to protect you from not doing the thing, because it's energy expensive. And especially when you go through that intense preparation and diet like bodybuilding, preparing for bodybuilding competition, or maybe even challenges, right? Because this is very similar when you go through 6 or 8 weeks challenge and it's just so intense, lots of training, strict calories, and all that jazz. You might have very loud inner critic or the voice in your head that, oh, what's the point? You're a loser. You can't stick to things. What's the point? You're not good enough. And only, you have two choices. You can listen to those voices, or you can, hey, I see you. I see you. I hear you. I know you're suffering, maybe. It's difficult for you right now, and I can hear you, but we have job to do. And the job is to prove yourself that I can fucking do this. And I shared on Instagram today my little posing video that I didn't want to be that woman who says, I could never do that. Not from a place like, oh, I don't want to. If I don't want to do something, that's a different story. But I didn't want this saying, oh, I could never do that, coming from a place of fear, lack of confidence, and self-belief and lack of self-belief. I didn't want this saying, I could never do that. I didn't want this to come from place of lack of self-belief, lack of confidence. So I had to prove myself. No, honey, you're doing it. And like I said, the voices were really loud, but because I know what I know, I didn't have to listen. I leaned on my support system. I leaned on my coach. I still have weekly calls with her just to make sure that I'm landing the plane after competition, that I'm in a steady state, that my nutrition is okay, my training feels okay, my mindset is okay, that I'm steady. Also my teachers and the guys, that's the thing. Like you have to understand here, you are your greatest investment. And I love asking for help. I'll be honest with you guys. All my money goes into investing in myself, poor Will. Because I can see the benefits. And I do not give a shit anymore about holidays. I'm sorry if Will is listening, but he knows this. Because as much as I love seeing the world, I love seeing the world and meet people and have different experiences. I do not enjoy sitting on the beach with cocktails. It doesn't give me fulfillment, and I do not rest like that. So, you have to know your priorities. I feel like I'm jumping from topic to topic, but sorry guys, you just stick with the flow, I promise you. You will always get something from it. So you have to know your priorities, what gives you fulfillment, what makes you happy. And, there are few parts of me, and my two main parts, actually three, but two kind of complement each other. So one is being an athlete, B, being a great coach and help people change lives, and my relationship. But I feel my relationship goes hand in hand with all of this, because when I'm becoming a better person, when I'm learning how to communicate, when I am happy, when I'm fulfilled, I'm a better partner. If I take care of myself physically, mentally, spiritually, I can show up as a better partner, and I do believe I have more understanding for my partner, more patience, and I genuinely do invest in myself so I can have also better relationship. And I know how to communicate with my partner. I know how to make the most out of him, support him, and the most out of us as a couple. And just, like I said, communicate boundaries. I want him to also be his best, and not in a cost of me being my best. I think we both want best for us, for each other. So yeah, I always say, like, you are your greatest investment, you are the asset, and the more you grow, the more you evolve, the more you can support people around you. And sometimes it also comes with the fact that you might lose some friends, you might actually drift away from certain group of people, which happened to me, happened to some of my clients, because you just literally grew to the completely different direction. And like I said, if you want to say, oh, let's go for a weekend booze to Blackpool or where, I'm like, I'm not going. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I hope I don't sound like ignorant, but I genuinely don't enjoy it, because what I do love is training. I love seeing myself. I love seeing myself progressing. I love my business. I love coaching people. I want to speak to people. I want to be the best coach as I can be. And in order for this to happen, like, I have to, prioritize myself. So another thing, to be able to get to Dubai, I had to overcome so much, and not only just from physical standpoint, of course, mental standpoint, but financial standpoint. Because guys, like, I am competing in a federation. It's probably one of the most expensive bikinis. You have different bits that goes with bikini. It's always like handmade bikini, tickets, flying, accommodation. I also had to manage my finances. So me and Will, we had to make sacrifices, and it just had to be a conversation. Are you okay with that? Because that means that we cannot go on holidays if you want to. We can't do this, I can't spend money on this or on that. And as much as I am okay with that, because I know my priorities, I know what makes me happy, I also wanted to make sure that Will is okay with that. And lucky enough, he is, and he supported me. He pushed me, actually. He said, look, we will figure this out. Just go, buy yourself a ticket, go to Dubai, do what you need to do, and we will figure this out. And we fucking did. Every decision that you do not make, it's from a place of fear. Fear that maybe you will not have the money to pay for XYZ. There's always a fear from investing, that you'll be skinned, that you can't do this and do that, right? And also your inner critic, it's a fear. The fact that you say, oh, I don't know if I can stick to it, if it's not working for me, I don't know if I can trust myself, blah, blah, blah. Is that for me? It's everything comes from a place of fear, because your brain is trying to protect you. But if you keep listening to it, you will never build trust. You will never build evidence. Like, I have so much evidence that it will work out, that I was like, okay, I'm scared, but I'll go for it. And we made it work. We figured it out. Like, we still have roof over our heads. Sure, we didn't go on holidays. Sure, we couldn't buy maybe this thing and that thing. Maybe I had to cut on Shein, and and I didn't buy myself makeup that I normally would. But no, I know my priorities. And in the same time, I started, like I said, my education journey, my neuroscience journey, and that costs. So, but I'm absolutely okay with that, because I know what is important to me. And I also, because of what I've learned, I understand that I don't have to listen every thought in my head. But I can see it, I can acknowledge it. Hey babe, I see what you're doing. You must be tired. Go to bed. Like I said, with the adrenaline that I noticed, how I was experiencing too much energy, and how, and again, I didn't pace myself how I should, but hey, it's just learning curve. Last year I had different experience, this year I have different experience, and I just learned from it. I always say this journey exposes what you need to work on. Is it your communication with your partner? Is it healthy boundaries with people around you? Is it creating some boundaries with work? Maybe you notice you're a people pleaser. Maybe you notice you have a poor relationship with money, poor relationship with food. When people say, oh, bodybuilding, it ruined my relationship with food, and I'm like, no, it didn't ruin it, it just exposed it. And I had the same. I had very poor relationship with food, binge eating, going starving, binging. And that's why I stopped competing, because I knew, if until I will address that, I am not in a position to compete again. And I did, and I have a wonderful relationship with food. And I didn't binge after competition. I just kind of eat the same thing, just a little bit more of it. If I want cake, I know how to accommodate it. I just track my calories all year round. I sleep. And when we maintain routine, when we maintain our habits, our system is more regulated. So I'm not hysterical. I'm not hiding. I can be there for my clients, be there for my partner, and most important, I can be there for myself. The version of me that I like. So, you guys, let me check my notes because I'm sure I probably went a little bit on a rant here. Not rant, but different directions. Actually, I did pretty good job. So that's all, folks. So I hope that even though it maybe wasn't as much organized, this podcast wasn't as organized, I hope you took something from it. You took some lessons. If not understanding of yourself, that you can understand your system, you can make better decisions, maybe inspired you, and help you understand that as humans, we need humans to thrive. And I am first to ask for help now because I see benefits from it. We are not designed to do these things on our own. On our own, we only get so far. I know without my coaches, mentors, teachers, my partner, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I am really, really happy what I achieved, not just, like I said, from trophies standpoint, but how I grew and I managed this experience because I've learned so much about myself. So if you would like to connect and chat and share your story with me, any question you have, let me know. I always love to chat and listen to your stories, guys. And if you have any questions about my diet or training as well prior to competition, you can let me know. Because the one thing I also can tell you quickly, because I think I forgot to mention that it was lots of pushing and pulling during my prep, because it was time when I was doing more and I wasn't losing any weight. In fact, I was gaining weight because I had so much inflammation. So we actually had to find sweet spots between calories and cardio. Training was always like, training weights is the way it is non-negotiable, but we can manipulate cardio and calories. So it took a while to find sweet spots when I was still recovering. So we actually took my cardio down. I was doing much less, but also I was eating less. However, the sweet spot that we've had allowed me to keep losing weight and feeling pretty steady. So that also improved my overall mindset, if that makes sense. So there was lots of pushing and pulling during this prep, which was again another experience when you learn more about yourself and how your physiology change with age. It's all about recovery, how much you can handle, how much you can recover from. So thank you so much, lovely people. Thanks for listening. I hope you find it helpful. Until the next one.